Yeah, there's a real misunderstanding of what it means to be a human being. And that misunderstanding is getting the human race into a lot of trouble. Yeah, one of the biggest problems I personally have, and I think the majority of humans have the same problem, that all the explanations we're being offered aren't satisfying. They are to the point where they're quite unrealistic. You know, I don't think I came from a monkey. I don't think that evolution really was able to create this beautiful diversity on this planet. I think God is too far away. If I have a stomach ache, I have to call on God to help me fix my medical issues. It has to be internal. The energy to create this paradise on this planet, it has to be interconnected, and it has to be internal, inside every single thing that is alive. That connectivity has to be a being that lives inside plants and a being that lives inside human beings that are identical. And that ability of communication and connectivity has to be the answer of life's origins. It has to be the answer of why everything seems to be so beautifully connected and capable of working together in such a way that there's this harmony that we as human beings are supposed to benefit from. We're supposed to enjoy it. We're supposed to take advantage of it to a certain extent. That connectivity of everything has to be absolutely 100% internal. And it always comes back to an energy equation. We have energy given to us by taking in food. That energy is manipulated, used, put into action by these beings that live inside us. There's a huge management system inside the human body that can't be explained by evolution. It can't be explained by God. It is so magnificently complicated that it has to be in real time inside us. Every millisecond counts. The organization has to be almost perfect for us to have a chance to breathe every second, for our heart to beat correctly, for the energy to be distributed throughout our body. The only way that can happen if there's internal control and internal abilities that make it possible for humans to stay alive. That connectivity that is present in everything that is around us is a real clue. The fact that we can eat certain plants, the fact that we can grow certain things, the fact that we can do all these things is only possible because there is a connectivity between what lives inside these plants and what lives inside us. And that connectivity needs to be promoted, and it's the only way that the human race can start stepping back, and solving the problems of not understanding what it means to be human. You know, you have to understand that this diversity that we experience on this planet, especially a couple of thousand years ago, would have been incredibly colorful and bountiful and beautiful. That diversity is not by chance. This slotting mechanism of diversity is planned, it is created, it is filling slots, filling gaps. It is on purpose. Something that has an oversight of everything alive is slotting life in such a way to keep everything alive. Without the diversity, there's nothing. We need immense diversity to keep everything going, to keep everything alive. There needs to be nectar for butterflies or hummingbirds. There needs to be pollen for bees. There needs to be herring in the ocean for larger fish to eat the herring. That circular motion is a planned mechanism. It is something that occurs in a slotted mechanism that allows everything that is in that circle to stay alive. And guess what? Everything that lives inside that circle has to be fed from day one. You can't feed a jaguar 5 months later. It doesn't work. There needs to be, for the vegetarian animals, there needs to be that material needs to be there for them to eat from day one, not from day 30, not from day 45. It has to be circular from the get-go. This idea of everything evolving and filling in all these slots is too cumbersome. There needs to be purpose. There needs to be something living inside every single thing that is on this planet to organize a structure that keeps every single element alive, every single living being alive. And that is going to be the downfall of this planet. When there's certain things missing in that food chain, in that circle, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. It's starting already. It's immensely obvious how everything is slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And how do you explain this internal organism that is keeping everything alive, that is creating humans that are prodigies instantly, that is giving so many people all these different gifts, their talents, their abilities? Why is there such insane diversity? The reason is to keep everything alive. So if humans don't start to understand that the being that lives inside us is trying its best to show you as a human being what your talents are, what your abilities are, where you're supposed to take your abilities, in what direction. There are so many human beings on this planet, I would say the majority, that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. There are people that could probably sit down at a piano and start to play very quickly. There are mathematicians that aren't being challenged. They have this incredible mind that would allow them to do so many different things. But they don't even know that they have this talent, or they don't want to challenge themselves to go towards that talent. So the world needs to understand that we have life inside us. We have a being inside us, beings inside us, plural, that are looking after us every millisecond of the day. They're keeping all these foreign workers that live inside us, these foreign viruses and microorganisms, they're keeping them in check, and they're making them do their job every millisecond. So this idea of a faraway God or evolution looking after us isn't possible, because life is so immensely complicated. Life needs to be controlled and supervised and looked after every millisecond just to survive. And if we understand that the connectivity and this beautiful idea of every single thing that is in close proximity to us having the same being living inside it, giving us a connection to these beings, be standing in front of another human being and you being able to say, I don't like this person, or I like this person, or this person has incredible karma or incredible energy. There's this telepathic or this love affair with the person that's standing in front of you. That is because they have the same beings inside them that you have. There's a connection between the beings that live inside this person and yourself. And we have to understand that the only way we can improve this planet if we understand that everything you need lives inside you. All the energy you need lives inside you. All the connections you need to make with animals and plants and other human beings and insects, all those connections are possible because you have the same being living inside you, as well as plants, as well as insects, reptiles. Everything has that interconnective being that has created life, that is supporting life, that is available to the human race to get this planet populated, green again, working again. But the connectivity between us and the beings that live inside us is separating and separating and separating. Information is getting in the way. Selfishness is getting in the way. Ignorance is getting in the way. Hatred is getting in the way. So we have to step back and say, look, if everything truly is connected, let's use that connection to get to a place where life can start to repopulate this planet. The human tranquility returns, and humans have this chance of really doing what they want to do, doing what they are meant to do. If you're supposed to be a gardener, then you need to be a gardener. If you're supposed to be a winemaker, then you need to grow grapes. You need to do all the things that you are meant to do with the beings that are inside you, that are pre-programmed to show you the way of what you as a human being are supposed to do, what your gifts are. You might be an artist that can draw everything from day one. You might be a person that is so musically gifted you can pick up any instrument and play it. That is that internal energy that isn't being used enough on this planet. We need to get more involved with the connectivity to the beings that live inside us. They have messages for us. They have information for us. They have abilities for us. They're working non-stop to keep us alive. They message every part of our body to keep things working, to help every cell that's in the body. We have a world full of agitated human beings. There's conflict everywhere. People are very aggressive. People are very angry. This selfishness has become unsupportable. There are people that are not understanding what it means or what they're supposed to do on this planet. So there's many problems with humans not having an understanding of what it means to be in a connective environment. This selfishness and this desire for connectivity with technology and information separates us from this reality we are supposed to represent as the overseer species of this planet. We're supposed to look after everything. We're supposed to move everything along in such a way that it's going to be there for the next generation. So I want to explain what humans are missing, and science is missing, and religion is missing, and is sending humanity in the wrong direction. And this direction of humanity has to be saved very quickly. It can't go on like this for much longer, because we will not be around as a species. Nature would be very happy if we are gone. There's no question about it. It would make things a lot easier for this planet to recover if the human race was gone. So let's get into it. So there is an understanding that life is very encompassing. It includes plants and mammals and reptiles and birds and insects, you name it. It includes everything. And we have to understand that this connectivity of everything that is on this planet that is alive has to be explained very differently. It can't be the theory of evolution, or it can't be that God made everything. It has to be something different. And that thing that is different lives inside us. It is the energy that organizes, for example, all the organisms that aren't human inside us. All the organisms that are inside plants, keeping the plants alive, that aren't plants. So what is organizing all these foreign, let's call them workers, symbiotic workers that benefit from living inside plants, that benefit from living inside our digestive system? How could these beings that probably would want to devour us, how can they be kept in check? How can they be organized in such a way that they're always beneficial, or almost always beneficial? How does that work? How is it possible that we have such diversity on this planet? Where does that diversity come from?